stream? I'm not sure if I am. Says somebody's here. I might be on the wrong live stream. This. Hey Terry, did I pull up the right live stream? I'm not sure if I did. This might have been a bad idea. Hey Ben, hey Sue. I think I just hit the go live button instead of going to my scheduled live stream. I did. Oops. I was in a hurry. This might have been a bad idea as the sun has not come up. It's cloudy. This should have been delayed, but I was like, because I labeled it, let's go for a walk. Sun's not up yet. I'm at a light pole. It's a cool looking house behind me. It's an apartment building. It's got 4 apartments in it. So yeah. Sun's not up yet. And then I noticed just now, it started getting kind of breezy. It's not great for sand. Guess I'm gonna walk. Sun will be up in a minute. And it'll get different. So, yeah, I was super busy yesterday. I didn't have really a lot of time to prepare for the live stream. And then, yeah, I think I didn't even pull up the live stream I scheduled. But, yeah, it's weird. The sun's not up yet. It's just cloudy out there. I don't know. Let's see if you can see. Oops. See, it's not. I'm walking east. So I'm walking towards the sun. It'll come up in a minute. It's usually up by now, but you can see those clouds prohibiting it. Those will burn off. It's like, I don't know, 12°C. It's not too cold. I think it's gonna be about 16, 17 today. So yeah, I was super busy yesterday. I do this thing where, you know, I schedule my own jobs for myself. And a lot of times, can you hear me okay? I don't know how the sound is. I know it's bouncy. I'm walking on a bouncy park. It's uneven ground. Hope I don't fall. Trip. Yeah, so I schedule myself jobs. And then a lot of times I screw myself. I'll think I could do that one day. And then it ends up being like a 10 or 12 hour day. When I finally get to do it. Because I'll have to finish because I'll have another job scheduled for the next day. So I just did that to myself yesterday. And had to work a long day. So yeah, I didn't really get a chance to do any research or schedule a topic. Yeah, good, you can hear me okay, Ben. Ben. I think Ben has had an interesting life. From the tidbits that I've put together, from things he said. Isn't that weird, like who knows what we think about each other, what's right or what's wrong, but we develop, I don't know, ideas. Hiya, Choppy. So, I worked a lot. Not really a topic today, but I am wondering a couple things. Choppy's here. There's a really good bakery right there. It's like highly rated. I don't know if you can see. Building that's all lit up. That's always on like top 10 bakery list in Dallas. A wine bar. So I don't have a topic scheduled, but tell me about football a little bit, if y'all would. My first question is like, how long is the season? When does it start? I'm talking about the Premier League. When does it start? When does it end? Is there like a Super Bowl at the end? Is there two teams face off against each other? August to May. Okay, August to May. That's the season? But y'all are playing now. Teams are playing now. It's not between August to May right now. Wait, August to May, that's... So it starts in the summer and goes all through the fall and the winter and ends in the spring? Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm in a busy intersection, you want to see? This is what's down the street from me. This is like an old shopping center, but it's been updated a little bit. It's probably been here since the 30s. August to May, so I guess that's what you're saying. It starts in the summer, goes all fall, winter, it ends in the spring. Are there two teams that face off at the end? Is there a winner? Neon lights next to me. There's a good, this little Mexican restaurant. Mexican seafood restaurant. Now this is La Calle Dolce. This is not a Tex-Mex place. This is authentic Mexican food at this restaurant. And they got a little outdoor area. So yeah, it's Mexican seafood. Authentic Mexican, not Tex-Mex. They can serve you a fish there with a head on, and you don't order shrimp or prawns. You order cimarrons. That's Spanish for shrimp. Oh man, the moon looks cool up there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I'm gonna flip this around. Oh, y'all see the moon right over there? That's real cool. It's a little cafe here, the Gold Rush. Got a Elvis statue out front. Look at that. The king. Anyway, I'm just showing y'all around while I talk about football. The FA Cup third round starts second week in January. Any team can get any team, okay? It's points based, so every team plays each other twice. 3 points for a win, 1 each for a draw, and 0 for a loss. Okay, so at the end of the season, there's no face-off. It's just whoever has the most points, they win the season. They win the what, FA Cup? Is that what it's called? That's a great coffee shop right there. And this place, Benny's Bagels, is like the place for bagels in Dallas. They get lines out the door, or they get a queue that just goes down the sidewalk. So that's it, it's points based, the whole season, I'm guessing. crossing the street on the zebra crossing. Say Z, say Z. I think I made it safe. Alright, it's getting a little windy. And I'm gonna walk for a minute, well, kind of for a bit. I'm gonna walk on kind of a busy street coming up. There's gonna be some traffic noise, sorry about that, but I'll get past that in, I don't know, 5 minutes. When the Premier Cup begins, FA Cup is a different competition. Okay. FA Cup is a different competition. FA, Football Association. I'm in Dallas. Depends on the league. Okay. It goes to knockouts. Premier League is point-based all the way through. Okay. FA Cup is different from Premier League. I'm just trying to get some basic knowledge why I do this little walk. Because I don't have much of a time. I got a couple things in mind I could talk about too, but start off with some football talk. So who's doing good now? And what's the preferred, I guess I don't understand the difference between the FA Cup and the Premier League. Okay, so is maybe the FA Cup like kind of the same teams are in the FA Cup that are in the Premier League, or you don't have to be, or it's both? Is that kind of like after the Premier League is over or something, there's the FA Cup? Who's the best team right now in the Premier League? Who's having the best season? Who's it? Who's it number one? Is it Arsenal, Choppy? Is that what you're telling me? Arsenal's number one? How's Newcastle doing? The street I'm on is actually the street I live on. I know it seemed like I did a windy kind of a way, which I did. The street I'm on is the same street I live on. It's, at this point, it gets busy. My street is not at all like this. That's 4 lanes wide, 2 in each direction. And these homes I'm standing by, mostly built in the 1930s. Arsenal is first at the moment. Okay, these are cool houses, huh? I like these houses right here. Matter of fact, coming up is a house I painted. Arsenal, huh? Okay, so Arsenal's not a team that's normally that great, but they are doing good this year. Hello, Nicola. Is that what you said? This house right here I painted. The exterior and the interior. Oh, that's my work. The white. The trim around the windows and the eaves and the columns. Painted all that. It's cool to see. But, so Arsenal's not typically a great team, I guess is what I'm understanding. Haven't won it in years, but they're doing good right now. The FA Cup runs on a monthly basis. Newcastle or hitty missy at the moment, huh? Does that put you at, say, the middle of the pack? Do teams get regulated every season? Is there always a team that gets regulated? Is that true? It's cool, kind of a cool house right there. I like that big open window. These are what we call Alpine style when they have those roofs like that. Kind of cool houses. Arsenal in 2005 and 6 went undefeated. to the Premier League, so that's pretty cool. Normally they finish around 5th, 6th. They've actually won it for years and years. They actually have won it for years and years. Or haven't. They're always near the top, okay. But they're at the top now. Arsenal. Just trying to get some basic knowledge about football. You know, my deal with sports is, y'all know I just really follow cycling. But I grew up in a small country town when I was really young. And in my teenage years, I lived in bigger cities. And with sports, growing up in Texas, you are a Dallas Cowboy fan. And through a large part of my life, I was an avid Dallas Cowboys fan. Just like everybody else around here. I did play American football, you know, for school teams. I played a lot of sports. Tennis was my main sport because I started it young. I know there's a lot of traffic right here. It's noisy, but I'm gonna get out of this spot in a minute. And I even played your football quite a bit on different. So I never played on an organized team like some kids did when they're little kids here play your football, and girls and some boys continue it with school teams. But so when I was in high school, our tennis team, our head coach and the girls soccer team head coach were real good friends. Both ladies, if you know what I mean. The two lady coaches, the tennis coach and the soccer coach, were very, very close. And so we would scrimmage, our tennis team would scrimmage against the girls soccer team. I'm sorry I'm calling it soccer, but that's the only way to differentiate it from American football in this conversation. So our tennis team would scrimmage the girls, your football team, and we would often beat them. So I played a lot just doing that. Our tennis team had several European transfer students, and of course they love football. And we had also a couple of Indian, American Indian students. Not Native Americans, actual Indians. And they were pretty good too. And so our little kind of tennis soccer team was pretty good. Then I was also active in a lot of clubs in school. And we had what we call intramural sports. So it was not organized, except for by the teams themselves. We would just play little matches against other social clubs in our school. And so I was in, now this might upset you. Sorry, loud truck. That was a loud truck. So I was in the French club. I apologize. My apologies. There was no English club. But all the languages had your football. I'm trying not to say soccer, but that's what we called them. All the language clubs had a soccer team, and we played each other just for fun. And I was on the French club soccer team, where I played in goal. Probably because I was the most athletic, but to be honest, they should have put me out front, not in goal. We always lost. I'd have been better with the ball than trying to stop it, because I was probably the fastest player on the team. But I just did whatever they said. So, and I played just pick up, your football for fun. And so I understand the game, but I don't understand your leagues and how all that works. And I never did play on like a school team. School teams I played on was tennis. I ran track. I was a high jumper. I played baseball ever since I was a little kid, all the way up through my school teams. And, you know, when I was even younger, I played on like basketball teams, other school teams, but in high school, I just played baseball for the school team. I played tennis, which was my best sport, and I ran track where I was a high jumper, so I didn't do a lot of running. Okay, so I got off that main road. Does this sound better? But that's my deal with sports. I used to watch a lot of basketball. My dad was a big baseball fan. I used to watch a lot of baseball. I used to watch a lot of American football. But I just got burnt out. And now I only watch cycling. That was a little sports talk. So I'm over here. This is a really cool Art Deco, built in 1938. Theater. I live in a neighborhood called Greenville, and there's a little jazz club right here too. I live in a neighborhood called Greenville, and Dallas is all broken up into neighborhoods. So we're all in the city limits. We all live in Dallas, but we all have neighborhood names. I live in Greenville. Next door to me is Lakewood. This is the Lakewood Theater. And it's a 100-foot tower. It lights up neon at night. Art Deco style, built in 1938. Shut down as a theater a couple of times. In the 80s it shut down, then got reopened. In the heyday, its heydays was the 40s and the 50s, and then reopened, and then it got shut down again around 2000, kind of fell into disrepair. And you may notice now on the marquee, since they reopened it the last time, it is no longer a movie theater. It's a bowling alley. See how it says, "Let's bowl"? So, I'm just over in the neighboring neighborhood. It's called Lakewood, the Mexican restaurant. I'm going back to read a few things because I missed some of your comments. Manchester City are usually at the top as well. Nicholas supports Aston Villa. Sorry for your husband, Sui supports Crystal Palace. The bottom team gets regulated to the league below every season. Okay. The lower league, their bottom team gets regulated, and so on and so on. Okay, right, every time. I didn't know. Oh yeah, I support female football too, Nicola. The Lioness England. The teams finish in the top 4 of the Premier League, go into the Championship League. That's European top teams. Okay, that makes sense too. Choppy said. Used to do football, swimming, kickboxing, and cross country. I also ran cross country when I was 11, 12, 13. Had a club every weekday in the football matches and training on the weekend. Yeah, I ran sports like, you know, a lot of sports I quit. I ran 14. I moved to the big city, and in the big city, you know, when I was a little kid in the country, almost every kid played on every team. When I was like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I moved to big cities and, you know, to play on the American football teams in high school, in the high schools I went to. I mean, you needed to be big. It's Texas. Texas high school football rules, and those kids on those teams in the big schools, they are massive. They're like adults, dude. So for me to play on those teams in my size and stature, I didn't do that. But I did play when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, ran cross country, played on the basketball teams. I got older, I just played tennis, high jumped, and played baseball. I was a shortstop. Anybody a baseball fan? I also played catcher. So, I was showing you just now when I flipped this around. This is the closest, the closest to me, closest to where I live. And that was about a 20-minute walk I just made to this little area I'm in now. This is closest to me, English pub. This is what we call an English pub in Dallas. It's the Black Friar. And it's about a 20-minute walk from my house. They'll serve different English ales in there. Of course, they'll have Guinness. And they will show European football games in there whenever they're on. And it's carpeted, and I mean, it semi-looks like one of your pubs inside. They do support, oddly enough, I believe the football team that they show all their games and kind of have a local group that come here to watch is one of the Spanish teams. I mean, they do pub food in there. You can get fish and chips, bangers and mash. I don't think they do a Sunday roast. But isn't that kind of sacrilegious that it's supposed to be an English pub, but they kind of support a Spanish team? I don't know why. But I find it offensive. I'm offended for you. Well, no, I don't. Okay, Choppy, that is confusing if you had a look and you looked up Greenville, Texas. It is 50 miles from Dallas, the city of Greenville. I live in a neighborhood in Dallas called Greenville. It's because there's a nearby street called Greenville Avenue, which actually used to run all the way to Greenville, Texas, about an hour away. But I don't live in Greenville, Texas. I live in Greenville neighborhood of Dallas, near Greenville Avenue in Dallas. But I'm in Dallas, I'm not in Greenville. Greenville's kind of a small town about an hour away. I know, Ben, how dare they, right? I don't know why they show all kinds of games there, but I know they have a support group. I don't know I can't remember which Spanish team, but they have a support group of some kind that supports a Spanish team. So this is part of more what's called just Lakewood Shopping Center. This is a little gift store, flower shop. Just kind of showing you what it's like in this nearby neighborhood called Lakewood. I think it is Barcelona, Terry. I think they show and have a support club. Well, hey, what is the flag up there? Let's go look. See the flag? Oops, sorry. See the flag in front of there? What is that? I'll get closer and y'all can tell me. it's kind of curled up. There's a couple of flags. This is a team flag, I'm guessing. Oh, it's kind of curled up. What flag is that? There's two flags out here. I don't know what that is. This one's all wound up, so you can't see it. Is that a Barcelona flag? It says a Barca Dallas. Is that crazy? Okay, sorry, I disconnected. It's Barcelona. It was supposed to be an English pub in Dallas. I am offended for you, I apologize. Americans, what are we doing? Call it an English pub. Support Barcelona. What is up with them? They should be, something should be done about it. Right? It's so offensive. It's a bit strange. It's more than a bit strange. Now I have been there. The food's not that great. And they do show other games. They show all the games, not just Barcelona games. But when Barcelona plays or has a big match, they do have a big turnout there as the local group comes to watch all the Barcelona games there. It's crazy. So, the Premier League is just points based. The FA Cup, and then you go into, okay, I get where you play teams, world teams. Alright, that's starting to make sense to me a little bit now. Listen, I did. Oh, this is going to get kind of noisy. Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of what comes out next. I think, Terry and Ben, you're going to miss a day of content, maybe, because you're not going to get the members' early release. And the second team you support is Spain, Nicola. But coming out, members' early release after the live stream is a Manchester video. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Another video of some kind, I can't remember. And then the members only one for today is going to be Bristol Balloon Fiesta. And then Terry and Ben, and as your other folks, as your memberships expire, you're going to miss out on the members only. But they'll go public in just a couple of weeks and you can catch up if you're interested in any of those. Yeah, Terry, you can't watch the members only ones right now. That's what I'm saying. But they'll go public in just a couple of weeks. And then if there's one that interests you, you'll be able to watch it. Today, you and Ben, you won't get any new content, I don't think. Because I'll release Manchester and another one, members early. You won't be able to see it till tomorrow morning. They'll release like 7 a.m., something like that. But so there'll be a delay in content for you too for one day. But like I say, you'll be able to catch up on all the members only. I'm probably not going to do any food cooking until it all expires. And, you know, it's just a couple of weeks. But then everything will be public, and I'll get rid of my members only section. So what was I saying? I'm standing at kind of a busy intersection. Again, that's my street. This is the same street I live on. Right here. Pretty busy. Down that direction is White Rock Lake. I'm gonna cross, so that again, this is just a shopping center around me. kind of seen. I'm across the street. Or shopping center. That way is my house. That way is White Rock Lake. I'm across the street. Comes the Dallas bus. You can see it. The sun came out. It's not that cold right here. But so this is kind of what it looks like in this area of what is called Lakewood, the adjacent neighborhood to where I live. But right up here, do y'all have kavas? That's like a kind of, or it's kind of, I don't know. They have wholesome foods in there, a lot of grains, natural foods, yogurts and things like this. This is really great steak restaurant right here. Their specialty is steak and frites too. It's so good. They got a little outdoor area. Italian pizza pasta bar. Sorry, it's a little windy. Where is my school, Nicola? You mean where did I go to school? As a kid? I went to like 10 different schools. We moved around every year or two. I didn't have one school or one city I lived in. When I was a kid, my family moved every year to 2 years. Over there is a Whole Foods. Okay, I'm gonna get away from this busy area. Is that what you're asking me, Nicola? Like, where did I go to school? Hi, Adrian. Yeah, I'm gonna get away from the busy area and kind of start to head back because I've been out here about 37 minutes. And this is a cool little, that's an art place. You can go in there and you take art lessons and do art projects. Yeah, it got windy. Yeah, you got a little windy there for a minute out there, but look, now I got out of that little intersection in it and it stopped. It's not so windy now. That was like an area where like 3 roads come together with a lot of traffic and stuff. For some reason it was like a wind tunnel. Now it's totally calm. That is a nice wine bar right there. 10 cellars. And drop a pretty penny in there, as we say. But yeah, I've seen a lot of wind. Yeah, I moved around so much as a kid, Nicola, that I can't even tell you. So we do 13 years of school, kindergarten through 12th grade. And you know, a lot of kids went to the same schools. Maybe they went to a different school in the same city as they got older, like from elementary school to what we call middle or junior high, and then high school. You know, but they moved to those schools with the other kids they knew. But in those 13 years, I went to 10 different schools in 10 different cities with 10 different people. You know, groups of friends that I'd have to meet and adapt and fit in. This is kind of a cool little house. And they have like, see that's a gargoyle up top. See that? They have a gargoyle up there. And they got these guys out here. There's another gargoyle over there. It just, I don't know. Yeah, it's in a Spanish style. Kind of a cool little house though, isn't it? So now I'll be walking back towards the Greenville neighborhood and out of the Lakewood neighborhood. A lot of these houses I'll be walking by were built in the 30s. Some of them newer, you know. Y'all want to know where I was born? Because it's not Texas. If you notice, I'll say I grew up in Texas. I moved to Texas when I was 2 years old. But I was not born here. And I've lived in 13 states. I could try to name them if you want. But, anyone want to guess what state I was born in? I don't like the question when people say, hey, where are you from? Because I was born in a place, I lived there until I was 6 months old. Then we moved and never went back. I visited as an adult. But is that where I'm from? When people say, where are you from? It's a cool old house. Built in the 30s. They got a nice willow tree. Well, that's a magnolia, but a nice willow tree back there. But I don't like the question, where are you from? And then how do I answer? It's not that place I was born and lived 6 months. Is it the place where I lived the longest consecutively? Because that is St. Louis, Missouri. I lived there from 1990 to 2000. It's the longest I ever lived in one place. The state I've lived in the longest, and I grew up in, and have moved away from and moved back to multiple times, is Texas. But I was born in the land of Lincoln. Does anyone know what state that is? That's the nickname of the state I was born in, the land of Lincoln. Does anyone know where Abraham Lincoln grew up? Because the state that claims the nickname the land of Lincoln is the state where he grew up, but not where he was born. He was born in a log cabin in Tennessee. Nope, not Georgia. Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin in Tennessee, but his family moved to the same state where I was born, and that's where he grew up, in a city named Springfield. Springfield, Illinois. I was born in Illinois, in a city called Rantoul, which is not a big city. Yeah, Georgia's not really close. That's a southern state. Illinois is a Midwestern state. So yeah, I was born in Illinois. Moved from Illinois in my youth. My dad went to Vietnam 6 months after I was born. And we moved to my parents' home state while my dad was in Vietnam. My mother did, with myself and my two brothers, which is Kansas. So the second state I lived in was Kansas. When my dad got back from Vietnam, he got stationed in North Carolina. So we moved to North Carolina. That was the third state I lived in. And then he got stationed in Fort Worth, Texas when I was 2 years old at a base there. And we moved to this area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, for the first time. I was 2 years old. And then I spent all my youth in Texas. Mostly moving around Texas. I had a weird childhood. So my dad retired from the military after 20 years, but he was only 38 because he went in when he was 18. My parents were from Kansas. My mom and dad were high school sweethearts. He got married, joined the military at 18, and yeah, been around a lot of places. And retired from the military when he was 38. He's still young. And so he chose a different career path. I think I've mentioned this before. It might blow your minds, but my dad became a preacher. And I was around let's see, I was around 8 years old when my dad became a preacher. We lived in Texas at the time. He was born in Yeovil. He never left. Ben? Yeah, so I'm 8 years old. My dad becomes a preacher. My brothers are much older than me, and so I spent a lot of my youth basically as an only child because they both got married and moved out. And it left just me and my parents. My dad's a preacher, and we were living in the Fort Worth area, but so a preacher will start his career in a small town in a small church a lot of times. And so that's what we did. We started moving to these small towns, tiny little places, just my mom, my dad, and me. And so then I grew up from those years in tiny towns all over Texas, east, west, south, middle, moving every year or two as my dad's career got bigger and bigger, and he started getting bigger churches in bigger cities. And in my teenage years, we came back to this area, to the Fort Worth area, and I finished high school in large schools in this area where my dad had big churches. I first got interested in the UK, Terry. I mean, when I first started reading Robert Louis Stevenson, I was a young kid, I don't know, 10, and he made me wonder about the world and where he was from, and I started looking it up. And then I began to be fascinated a few years later with the Tower of London and all those stories, and even as a kid, I was really kind of hello Neil Kempster, I was really kind of into spooky stuff, and the Tower of London caught my eye. Started reading about all that. So I mean, very early, I got interested to discover the city of York. Jane Austen introduced me as I started to read her to the city of Bath, and I just kept going. So then, yeah, I spent my youth all around Texas, but then as an adult, I started moving around again. I left Texas. And I don't know if I can name all the places I've lived, but Tennessee, Nevada, Arizona, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Missouri, Washington, D.C., Virginia. Is it crazy that I can't remember every place I've lived off the top of my head? I said, well, Illinois, where I was born, Kansas, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Nevada, Arizona. I feel like I'm missing one or two. Yeah, I'm coming, Terry. I'm coming. But I've moved to, Florida. I lived in Florida. Yeah, I'm definitely missing one. I think I'm missing one state. Maybe two. Might come to me in a minute. But so sometimes I'll move away from Dallas and then come back. I've done that a bunch of times. And yeah, I've lived in probably a dozen different, 20, different cities in Texas. This is me without a subject or a topic or research today. I'm just talking. I don't know. This is probably boring. I wanted to get some idea about football. I mean, being, I guess, my favorite state. I'm back to a busy road. I'm sorry. I'll try to cross it and get away from it. I mean, I grew up in Texas. I love Texas. It's got a lot of faults. It's got a lot of beauty, though. It's unlike any other state. We have mountains, deserts, beaches, forests. Great, highly diverse in what's around here. But I lived in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, and it was gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful state. And although I've never lived in Colorado, it is one of my... That car shouldn't have been going. Sorry. Colorado is one of my favorite states. But hands down, easily California has the best weather. But I never lived there. Hello, Mark Evans from Vermont. Your dad's favorite musical is Oklahoma. It's okay. I like musicals. But yeah, Texas is gigantic. Oklahoma, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I used to not be a fan of Oklahoma, the state, because growing up in Texas, my grandparents lived in Kansas, and also do like Kansas, even though it's boring. I spent my summers there with my grandparents, and but we used to drive all the way across Oklahoma about 2 or 3 times a year in the car, and Oklahoma's flat and boring and nothing to look at, and I used to just hate it. But the musical's okay. Yeah, I'm coming to Northumberland. I was going to talk a little bit more, for those of you who know, about a possible writing opportunity. I took a stab in the dark and sent an email to this guy, if y'all have ever heard of Bratz, Bradts. They're based in the UK. They're a travel guide, but they're kind of quirky, and they're almost always written by locals. And they're kind of known for going to remote places, but they do have travel guides for all over. Like I say, they're based in the UK. They're usually written in the first person. They're a little quirky. They don't mainly go to the big areas. I mean, I believe they have a London travel guide, but they also have a lot of countryside travel guides in the UK. As far as I can tell, all their travel writers are locals, which I'm not. Yeah, Texas is like its own country. Each state is really like their own country in the US. Regardless of size, we all have the right to govern ourselves by state. Anyway, I took a stab in the dark. Sent a letter to like what I thought was El Jefe. I thought this guy was like the head honcho brands, highest up I could find in the company, just by doing research online. I don't feel like I'm a good fit for what they do at all to write for them, but I sent this email about a week ago, heard nothing, and then yesterday I got a reply. He forwarded it to some editor, the guy I sent it to, and I might get a chance to do that. That was so cool. I got that email yesterday, about a week later. I told him who I was and what I'm doing, and put a link to my YouTube channel. Said it was small, but I'm doing research, an American coming to visit, that I was interested in the countryside and not the main places, which is kind of what their focus is. And I might get a chance to do it. But that's a little lesson to anyone that take a chance sometimes. Take a chance. And because you don't get what you want without asking. Yeah, fingers crossed, there's nothing set in stone. She did send me a contract that was not to sign, but a general contract as to what the offer could be if they make me one. And it's a little bit like, because I would be a freelancer, and it's a little bit like there's no guarantees. Like, they might ask me for, I'm just going to take a round number. They might ask me for 10 different articles or guides about 10 different places. I could write them all, and they might only buy one. You see what I'm saying? It could be a lot of wasted time. So it sounds like it'd be no guarantee. The offer is like per word, and it's pretty low. But in my email, I was like, I'll cover all my own expenses, and I'm just looking for a byline, meaning my name goes on it. And you know, the offer is pretty low. The whole trip, I could maybe add anywhere from $200 to $1,000 maybe, depending on what they buy from me. So that's not a lot. So, well, one thing they do, Neil, you'll be my guy. Don't charge Northumberland, Tyneside County, Durham, only 6 miles. Yeah, it is an interesting maybe. And they didn't offer me anything yet. We're supposed to talk again. They want me to write a fake guide to Dallas and submit it. So that'll be free of charge. It'll be like, the idea is to try to write in their style about Dallas. They just want to see. Now they do have written before, and I sent what's called clips. They have from me already published articles that I have published in different magazines and newspapers. They got those clips. I sent it with the original. But I don't know, it might happen. Oh, what I was going to say, Neil, is that a lot of what they do is talking with locals in their guidebooks. Y'all can check them out. BRADTS. A lot of what they do is talking with locals. And so I think because I linked my YouTube page and I'm a YouTube creator and my fascination for the UK, I put all that in the email. And then I'm making contacts in the UK, and my page is new and growing. And so I feel like what maybe they do a lot with locals, like maybe I connect with some of you guys and chat with you about what goes on in your area. I don't know. Because they do that. You can check out some of their articles. You'll see it's very local. Whatever area they're in, they usually have a lot of locals involved. Usually locals are doing the writing. So I thought they wouldn't hire an American to write about England. But I took a chance and sent an email. Anyway, it does sound like fun. It wouldn't pay much. But if I make a penny while I'm on holiday, I feel like a king. Like I did something. And you know, I haven't done any published writing in about 10 years. My son was born. I became a single dad. My last son, Sage. And man, single dad, yeah, I didn't have time for nothing. Actually, it's been more than 10 years. That's when I stopped writing. Back in the early 2000s, I was a staff writer for a music magazine here in Dallas. We covered the local music scene. And then I published other stories and done some travel writing for a magazine that's out of publication now. And I used to write for a local newspaper, social interest stories. I did once write about a haunted hotel in a local newspaper. So I do like to write, but I haven't done it in a while, and I thought I'd try to see if I could hustle something up. So we'll see. You know, just a couple days ago, I was online, I was looking at flights, I was making a checklist, and I was thinking I need to schedule for the summer. I got to get going on it. Now, I don't know what this is going to do, when they're going to want me to come. I don't know. I'll have to see what happens with this opportunity before I book flights. So it's interesting that this kind of came right when I was like, okay, I'm not going to get any writing gigs, just do what I want to do. Yeah, Adrian, it could lead to some more travel stuff, right? That's what I'm thinking too. I want to retire and stop painting, but traveling around and writing, yeah. That's why the pay is almost nothing, but I get, again, what is called clips. I get published clips that I can say, here, look at this, I've done this before. That could be an opportunity for more travel writing at other places. But I think also Sorry. I think also because I said that I was not interested so much and that I wanted to visit Cumbria, Northumberland, Somerset, Devon. I said that in the email. I think that kind of caught their eye because that's kind of what they do. Yeah, Neil, there's a lot to see in Northeast England. Right, see, I was already planning on going there. And yeah, write my own guidebook, Nicola. Yeah, that's expensive and hard to do probably, but maybe eventually it could be done. I mean, you could self-publish one, but oops, car coming. Anyway, kind of came at the last minute, unexpected. I didn't expect to hear from them as I hadn't for over a week. And all I did was just look up online who I could find was the boss there at this major global company and sent an email. You could chase your dreams, young. Whatever you wanted to. I've been doing stuff like that my whole life. Sometimes it works. And I could be getting overexcited and maybe it doesn't pan out. I don't know. I'm back home, yeah. I'm back home. Okay, I've been here for an hour. Hopefully, that wasn't too boring. I didn't have a topic. I do think I understand a little bit more about how football leagues work now. And when the end season will be coming. That's what I wanted to know. And I'd like to get into it. I understand the game, just don't understand the leagues. I don't understand, the points and the relegation and all that. But y'all helped me out today. Gave me a little bit of something. And I showed you a little bit of Lakewood. I'm back in Greenville now. Greenville neighborhood, not the city. And yeah, I guess y'all learned a little bit more about me, how I grew up. I kind of grew up alone, but I don't regret it. It was fun. I got a lot of different experiences, saw a lot of different things, and I got to do what I want without peer pressure. If you have a friends group, which I did not, then you get peer pressure. I made decisions based on, I want to be in the theater group. I want to try acting. I did that. I also did sports. I was in a French club. I did whatever I wanted to without somebody next to me going, athletes aren't in the theater. That's how it normally was. I was like, I do what I want. And I got a lot of fun experience. So I'm glad I moved around. I had a lot of fun doing it as a kid. But yeah, I had to make new friends every year or two. All right, I guess I'm wrapping up. Tomorrow I have a topic, okay? I'll look something up. I'll look something up tomorrow and I have a topic. I was just so busy yesterday. I didn't have time. But everybody have a good day, man. Yeah, Neil, sounds like you know a lot. Check it out. Nicola, it was good to see you. Terry, it was good to see you. Ben, good to see you. Y'all have a good day. Neil, nice seeing you. Adrian, always good to see you, Adrian. You talk to me a lot in the comments. I don't always have time to reply, but when I heard them, guarantee I read them, and I do learn from your comments. You tell me something there, even if I don't reply, Adrian, it goes in my head, and I remember. So good seeing you today. Adrian comments a lot. Oh, Mark, I didn't see. Oh yeah, I did, from Vermont. I have more and more followers from the U.S. recently. Mark is one. Hello from Vermont, Mark. Yeah, Tyneside and Neil. So good to see you all. I'm just scrolling back through and make sure I don't miss anybody. I was walking. Choppy. Good to see Choppy. Talking. Sue, I think I mentioned you. I might have missed some comments today because it's hard to walk and talk. But good to see everyone. Always my pleasure. Wayne from Dallas, Texas. Signing out.